Okay, so let's get started right now. So hi again, my name is Ruben. I'll introduce myself again through this session later on. But right now, let's talk about how to improve your website conversions when the problem is not more traffic. So I'm sure most of you have seen my landing page, you've seen my video and say, oh, now this guy is talking about traffic is not the solution to things. And hey, that's kind of like true, right? So you came to this session because you're probably curious to see what I have to talk about. And thank you again for being here. So today we're going to talk about some ways to improve your website conversions when the problem is not really traffic, more traffic. All right. So in today's session, again, we're going to go and introduce ourselves. So today I have something to give out today. I'm going to give out an audible book. Who knows what's an audible? Maybe I change this question again. Who does not know what is audible? All right, so answer that in the chat section. Number two, we're going to go into some quick lessons on marketing and some fake assumptions when it comes to sales and selling things, whether offline or even online, right? And then we're going to go into some 10 ideas and implementation strategy to increase your conversions when it comes to websites, all right? And number four, introduction to a software deal. So today I'm going to introduce you to a software deal. It's a platform. I'll announce what the platform is at the end of the day. Maybe some of you already know to help you increase sales. And the thing we do at Digital Kit is Digital Kit has started off as an initiative, right? But now it has transformed into an organization or into an initiative that we want to use to help even more people. So we started actually negotiating for software deals. So we went to software makers, software for businesses, right? And we got this as a deal. I mean, cheaper in what I'm talking about, as in discounts they want to give to people like you. All right, so I'm going to go into that. I'm going to show you what we have negotiated and the software that we're going to, give it to you today. Okay, anyway, enough of blabbering. My name is Ruben. I'm head of marketing at Lead. Lead is a tech institute where we teach three main subjects: data science, web development, and also digital marketing. Right, so we have actually trained companies like CapitaLand, TNB, Nando's, and IBM, Dell, and a lot to name. I'm also an owner and co-founder of Cat Studio, a music and dance school in Penang Island. So some of my friends, if you're my friends from Penang, you probably remember me as the music guy in Cat Studio. And I'm also founder of Cat Insights Marketing Agency. So this is where I help businesses with their marketing strategies. And the way we do marketing is a bit different from a lot of marketers, I would say. I'm also a HRDR certified trainer. So that means I train corporates with marketing. Growth marketer, entrepreneur, music producer on the side, and some of the brands that I've worked with and also taught with. Okay, so anyway, the reason I'm showing you this is not to tell you about my achievements and, Ruben is all this thing, right? But to let you know that why you should even listen to me in the first place, right? Okay, so like I said earlier, I'm going to give out an audiobook for free today to one of to the best comment. So the best comment today is going to win one Audible book from me, okay? And the reason why I'm giving out this Audible audiobook is because I have too many credits in my account. So what happens is I have a membership account in Audible, and every month I get charged for one credit. So one credit will give you one book, right? So I found out that I have a lot of credits inside there. I've used a few credits earlier on, and I still have 2 more credits to spend, and I don't know what to do with it. So I'm going to give one book away today for the best comments. So let's keep the conversation going, right? I'll choose one of the best comments at the end of the webinar, and I'll send you an audiobook for free. All right. So if you do not know Audible, Audible is a company by Amazon that sells ebooks. So with that credit, you can actually buy any single book you want on audible.com. All right, in fact, go and check out audible.com, go and see a book that you want, and keep the comments coming. So I'll give one book to someone who is lucky today. So how's that for keeping up the momentum today? All right, so I have 2 credits. I'm going to give one. I'm going to keep one for another reason. But yeah, put in your questions, give me your best comments. I'll give you one audiobook for free. Yeah, this is like, I think $14 USD or something. So you get that for free. All right. Okay, so very quickly, let's introduce each other. So I know most of you are inside right now. So please introduce yourself, right? And I want to know whether do you run a website that sells something or an e-commerce site that sells something? So we talk about conversions, right? But what is a conversion really means? Now, conversion is actually something like, I would say conversion would relate to things like if you sell a product, that's a conversion. If you sell services, that's also a conversion. You want to collect customer leads, you want to collect customer contact information, right? If you allow people to download brochures from your site, you are also looking for conversions. If you allow people to submit contact forms on your site, there's also conversion. So introduce yourself. I'm going to give you 1 minute to do this. Introduce yourself. The site that you run, you can also paste this here and let people know as well. Market yourself a little bit in this chat session as well. So go ahead. I'm going to give you 1 minute to do that. I'm going to take a sip of water here and I'm going to see some of the comments that comes up. Okay. Again, the best comments today win an audiobook from me. All right, go ahead. I'm seeing, all right, when you introduce yourself, don't introduce just to me, introduce to everyone as well. I mean, you're typing down to all panelists, that is just me. So change your chat section and change your chat to actually introduce yourself to all panelists and also all attendees, yeah? Non-profit website, I have an online shop. You can download total activities books for free. Let me just repaste your introduction to everyone here. Yeah, so this is from PN. Yeah. All right, so who else here runs a website on e-commerce? Come on, let's see some comments before I move on. You don't have to raise your hands up. You can just type in down in the chat section. We use that for our conversation today. Okay. Huawei Nova 2i raise hand. Don't raise hand. Just go and type it down. Are you running a website or an e-commerce website today? Anyway, let's see. No worries. All right, so put it down. I'm going to see the comments here and I'm going to move on, okay? All right, Aragon. Nice name, Aragon. Currently prepared to launch a web app that helps businesses to remind their clients to pay unpaid invoices. Debt collector, go kudos.io. Everyone go to see his website and see what he has to offer. There you go. I'm doing marketing for you right now. Jesse, clothing business, recently moved my business to online. everybodycollection.com. There you go. Promote yourself. There's nothing wrong promoting yourself here. Countdown page, doesn't matter. Get people's emails, right? And then launch it later on. All right. So anyway, I'm seeing a lot of, so get the comments coming. Yeah, I'd love to see these comments. I'd love to know who you are so I can be able to switch and, move my presentation a little bit. All right. So thank you for that and keep it going. In 2 weeks time, 2 weeks time is great. Okay. So before we go into the 10 tips, so today I actually prepared 10 tips to share with you in terms of converting on your site itself. And before we go into that, right, to be honest with you, I actually under-prepared for today's session. So today's session, I'm going to go into a bit of practical and a bit of slides. So it's not going to be all slides. I'm going to show you some real stuff, doing it on my computer. And you can ask questions, you can interrupt me anytime you want to. And let me know, right? So let's get some facts right before we go into the 10 tips of doing conversions on your site itself. Now, selling anything online and offline is the same itself, okay? It first all starts with understanding your customer, this guy here, right? And I want to get into some really quick way of thinking about that. Now, when it comes to selling to your customer, you have to understand what your customer wants, right? So as a business owner, you probably know that you have to solve a problem in the market and people buy solutions for their problems that they have, right? So the way to find out these problems is to understand the PF, H, and D. Now, who knows what is this PFHD stands for? If you know, you're going to win that audiobook, man. What is PFHD, right? So this is your formula for mapping out the wants and desires of your customer, right? So what is thinking buying a MacBook Pro? When someone buys something, what is he thinking in his head? Who knows what is PFHD? If you have come to my workshops before, you've came to my webinars before, you probably know what is PFHD. There you go. Are you type to everyone? Don't type to me. Type to everyone. All right. So I'm going to type this down for you, and let me copy Lionel's comment here. It's so P, F, H, and D stands for pain, fear, hopes, and dreams. Right. So what is the pain that your customer or your audience, right, your targeted customers are feeling? What's the pain that they're having? Right? What are the fear that they have? What are the hopes they have? And what do they dream of having? So I took out one slide from one of my classes. So pain, fear, hopes, and dreams, right? This is the motivations of clients and the reason why we buy things, right? So for example, in this quick scenario, Ryan, is married. He is a 40-year-old business owner who runs a restaurant which is quite successful. Okay, he is doing okay, but he has bigger dreams to start franchising. So if I were to map out the pain, fear, hopes, and dreams to Ryan here, now the pain is probably, I don't know how, he doesn't know how to franchise his business out, right? He's already successful, but he doesn't know how to go to the next level. That's his pain. Now, what's his fear? His fear is, oh, maybe a business downturn might affect his restaurant, something like the MCO or something like COVID-19, fear, right? So what's the fear of your customers, your targeted customers? Number 3, hopes. What does he hope to do? What hope to do, right? Successfully franchise his restaurant brand, or whether he want to take his restaurant over to dreams. Maybe his dream is to come up with 50 brand franchises in Malaysia itself. I don't know. So every customer of yours today has these 4 things: pain, fear, hopes, and dreams. So drill this into your head. And whenever you sell something, when you write copy for something, whenever you put out an ad for something, think about the pain, fear, hopes, and dreams of your customer itself, and then write it towards that. I guarantee you, or I assure you, you'll be able to find, you'll be able to connect better with your customers this way, right? Now, once you're identifying that, then we go into this formula of how needed is your product or services. Now, we know there are good products in the market, and we know there are bad products in the market. So how needed is a product or service if you were to map it out on a demand scale? So the demand scale, if you look from the bottom to the up, the top one means it's something that you will miss if it's gone, right? The bottom means it's, if it's gone, you probably don't even care. So think about this for a moment. Does your product go up on the demand scale, or is it on the bottom where you don't need it? So who here knows Grammarly? Or who here cannot live without Grammarly? You write bad English on your browser and you need Grammarly to help you write better English. Who here uses Grammarly? Yes? Or who doesn't know what's Grammarly? I just want to know if you know what I'm talking about. You know about it, you don't use it. So who uses Grammarly? Yes, you? Okay, I'm thinking the one that says me uses Grammarly, right? So when you start using Grammarly, let's say Grammarly is gone today, yeah, nada, it's gone. It's gone today. Now they decide to stop the whole service at all. Would you feel sad? Would you miss Grammarly a lot? So Grammarly has become, right? Grammarly has become something that is so in demand that I really need it, right? It becomes a need already. So this is like Grammarly's status right now. For some people, not everyone of course, but for some people, Grammarly is something that, oh, I need it right now. It's so high on a demand scale. It solves so many problems that I have, right? Now, something like Dyson is a product that maybe is around the middle of this scale here, right? It's not something that you really need, but it's nice to have, okay? If it's gone, you maybe be sad, but nah, you can still continue your life anyway, right? So I want you to think about it for a moment. Which part of the scale itself does your products fall into? Does it fall above the scale, or does it fall below the scale? If it's below the scale, you have to find a way to actually push it up the scale. So think of it for a few seconds and see. All right, no more the customer wants but needs. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna move on. I hope you have thought about that for a moment. So next thing that you have probably heard is the saying of people buy things based on emotions, right? We all have heard that if you are in business for a while, you've done some selling and buying in the market for you, even as a kid itself, you've probably heard of this before. People buy things based on emotions, not based on logic. So they buy things based on emotions and then try to justify it with logic, right? We all have heard that. But let me change this and refine the words a bit. Let me refine this quote a little bit, right? So I'll refine it to, we buy things based on its meaning to us itself. Okay? So think about it for a moment. We buy things based on its meaning to us. Okay, so to illustrate this to you, let's say I have 2 pens, yeah? 2 pens today, exactly the same. Now, if I'll give you the task of a marketer, right? So now you're a marketer. I'm not a marketer right now. I'm maybe your boss. I'm going to say, hey, for example, Justin or Jesse, right? We have 2 pens here. They're exactly the same. How do you sell the second one more expensive? Anybody got an idea? Again, the best comment wins today. how would you sell one of these pens? Exactly the same, yeah? It's the same thing. Exactly the same thing. How can we sell the second one more at a higher price? Now, putting in mind again that we buy things based on its meaning to us. Okay, branding, but how branding? How do we brand it? Personalized name carving. Increase both prices, but the second one even higher. Okay, we are thinking, we are getting there. What else? Let me just close the window again. What else? So junction is the answer that I'm kind of looking for. Yeah. So let's say, assuming that we don't change anything, yeah, we don't change anything, we don't put any carving, we don't change the pen into a steel pen, it's still plastic, still exactly the same thing. One way that we can increase the second value of the second one is doing something like this. We tell our customers and say, hey, this pen on the right has been held once by Tun Dr. Mahathir in an event. Held once, yeah, and we are selling this for 50 ringgit. Would you buy it? Straight away, it's the same thing, yeah? Same thing. Same exact same pen, but now one of it has a different meaning to us. See that? So with this little effect, we can change prices and sell something at a higher value. So I just want to illustrate to you that we buy something based on its meaning to us, not buy something because of what it is. Right? Make sense? I hope that makes sense to you. Anyway, let me show you another example. Now, we have two diamonds here. Both, let's say, cost at 8,000. All right, 8,000. Now, how do we increase the value of these two diamonds, or one of the diamonds here? Quick one. Two diamonds, 8,000. 8,000 is fair, yeah, I think. So how do we increase the value? Okay, let's see some answers. Best answers win again today. How would you, as an entrepreneur, diamond was one owned by Rosma. I wouldn't take that anymore, I think. Celebrity as an ambassador. You guys are funny. Owned by some. One customer can only buy once in his life, as the forever promise is his funnel. Yeah, I think that's something that is great as well. So you can think of it as an engagement ring, right? Owned by Angelina Jolie. Now you guys are thinking. All right. I don't want to waste time on this one here, but this is just a quick thinking activity for all of us here. Okay. So one way we can do this to increase value is to put it on the ring, right? And immediately put some meaning to it and say, hey, this is a ring for engagement. An engagement ring is expensive because it's forever, right? So, and some people call this entrepreneurship, right? They change something, put something there, and charge for more. You've seen these things in the market, right? Something that sells for 8,000, put it down on the ring a little bit more, and charge 18K for that. We all see these kind of things, right? So when it comes to selling something online, it always comes back to the meaning of it, not towards what it really is, right? An engagement ring to many males out there is like just another ring, but an engagement ring to a lady out there is like everything. Okay, so anyway, let's go move on. And how does all of this relate online? Now, you join this webinar to learn about conversions, right? I'm talking about all these rings and pens. So how does all this relate online? Now, I just want to illustrate to you, right, that whether it's online, whether it's offline, it all comes down to understanding human behavior and their desires. Okay, it's never really about the business itself. So a lot of people, they do business out there, they go and build sites, beautiful ones, and they made it all about themselves. Oh, we are the best in the market. We come up with this. We are pioneers in the industry. We are top number one. We are the best. Now, nobody cares about all those kind of things. That's one thing you to understand, right? People care about themselves a little more. So no matter you're selling offline, online, always understand your customers, and it's never really about you. Okay, so with that, I'm going to go into the 10 tips today. I'm going to share with you. Of course, these are not the 10 only tips that you can do online, but from here, I believe that you can take these tips and start immediately, and then from there, you can begin to do more and more different things again. All right, let's get started. So number one, if you're selling something online, if you're selling something online, or you're doing some e-commerce, any sort of e-commerce, or you're offering something, or you're getting someone to actually put in a lead in your form itself, in your website itself, one of the first tips that I'll give to you, right? And you've seen this in the video itself, is to cut down the ask in your checkout page. So you have seen a lot of checkout pages that on Shopify, on e-commerce stores and all that, they have this long, super long, huge form, right? Your name, your email, your first name, your last name, your address, your phone number, your email address, everything they want to know about you. Now, as a user, I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in buying something and want this to be gone quickly, right? So if you look at this order form here, this is one of the order forms that we have. You can see that our order form only has an email address and a name. That's it, right? So you better ask me, hey, what about the rest of the information? What about the address? Don't you have to send something to a user? Now, what we do is we ask for this address later on after they have made the payment. Why ask for so many things before getting a payment in? So this is something that you think about, right? If you look at this one here, standard form says all these kind of things, right? So today, if you run a site today, right, and you have something that for people to buy from your site, and you have like first name, last name, you have company name. Now think about it for a moment. Do you really need your company name? No, right? Take it off. Do you need a country? If you don't need, take it off. If you don't need the address, take it off. Everything, take it off. Do you need them to create a password? Probably not, right? So we have something known as a guest checkout as well in e-commerce. So remove all these kind of things. Make it so simple for your customers to check out, and don't ask them for so many things. So the tactic here, or the technique here, is to reduce the ask from your site itself. Don't ask them so many things. You can always ask them later on after they have bought and checked out on your cart itself, right? This is number one thing that I would recommend every e-commerce site to do immediately today, all right? Okay, anyway, if you have questions along the way, and if you're confused about what I'm talking about, just ask them, because I'm going to go quite fast today, okay? I value your time, and this is just going to be a quick session today. All right, I'm going to clear off this thing. So anyway, one general rule of thumb is that if it takes more than 30 seconds to check out, right, try on your page yourself. Go to your e-commerce, check out and see, put in your details, assume that you are an audience or a customer, and see how long it takes to check out from your page itself. It takes more than 30 seconds, it's way too long. Cut down on things, ask for the other things later on. Okay, cool. Let me just move on. All right, so that's idea number one. Now, idea number two is the coupon hack. Now, most of e-commerce site today, right? E-commerce, Shopify, whichever, you would have this thing here, this discount code thing here, right? Do your e-commerce store has this? A discount code or a voucher code or whichever code. You see this in Lazada as well, right? You see this everywhere, Shopee as well. Do you have these kind of things on your site itself? Yeah? Right, I'm sure you have. And most WordPress, WooCommerce, Shopify, when you install these things, it's there on default. It's like a standard for e-commerce websites to have a discount code itself, right? Now, what's the weakness of the coupon, having a coupon or discount code there? Anybody knows what's the weakness of having this there? If you have a discount code option on your site, it could be a weakness. Now, what's going to happen, maybe you do not know yet, I'll let you know, is that as a user, as a customer, right, when I come to your site and I see something like this, I'm ready to check out, I'm already invested into what you have to sell. I click on pay, I come to your checkout page to put in my information, and then straight away I see, oh, there's a discount code here. If there's a discount code, right, for your product, there must be a discount somewhere, right? So what's going to happen? We're going to Google for it. We're going to say, oh, let's go and Google it because there's a coupon for it. Now, how many of you have done this before? You want to buy something, you see a discount code or voucher code there, and then you stop, let's go and Google it. Have you done that before? Okay, who have done this before? Who have done this? I know, I have done it before, right? Any products, I've done it before. We go and see, oh, shit, there's a discount code. I'm going to look for it, right? Yeah, Lazada itself, Lazada Foodpanda, you're going to put Lazada discount voucher for May 2020. Food Panda discount voucher for May 2020, and then you try, then you get fed up. Then because there's no other place you can buy this thing that you want to, you just continue anyway, right? But two things happens here, right? One is your experience becomes, you put discount code but no discount. You don't feel that good anymore. Number two, you might get distracted. Maybe you want to buy from this site itself, but because you search, you end up buying from somebody else that is cheaper or something like that. So as an e-commerce owner, as a site owner, when you have this kind of thing, it could be a weakness itself. It's a double-edged sword, right? So we will do things like this. We'll go into Google and we will search for something like this. Now, if your store is not famous enough, or you don't have anything online, then your customers will feel like, there's no discounts for this, right? It all happens to us, exact same way, okay? So one thing I want to do, or one thing you can do if you cannot remove that coupon code, is to create what I call the coupon hack itself. Okay, so how do we work on this? Now, this is done by a lot of domain and hosting companies. So Justin, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So how do we implement the coupon conversion hack? We create a coupon purposely for a customer to find, because we know our customer behavior, right? So again, I said when it comes to selling online, offline, it's always the behavior. So we know that our customer will go and find for coupons. So for example, what I did a few days ago, I was trying to buy a domain from Namecheap. Namecheap is another domain registrar online, right? So for example, on the first one here, I go and search for Ruben or domain here, right? Now, when I want to check out right time, I saw that there's a discount or a coupon code there. So what I did is I go and search for Namecheap coupon, right? We all do this. You all said we do this, right? And what do I see here? Now, two things I see here. One is I see Namecheap actually advertises, right? This is an ad, yeah? They advertise for their own keyword search here, Namecheap coupon codes. Now, if a company that big is trying to advertise for its own coupon codes, you know that this is a hack that you can use, right? Now, number two, you can also see that they are ranked for one page here called promo codes and coupons by Namecheap. Ding, ding, right? We post fresh coupon codes here every month, right? Because they know their customer behavior and their customers are people like me. We will go and search and find if there's coupon codes before we checked out. So if you run an e-commerce site today and you know the behaviors of your customers, you can also put in this hack itself, right? Create a page and rank it up with SEO for your customers to find. And maybe if you want to, put a small discount for them to make them feel a bit shocked if they want, right? So this is a quick coupon hack. And if you run an e-commerce site, I think this is a great way to actually drive more customer conversions so they don't actually go off into other websites, into other of your competitors itself. Hope that helps. Right here, a few more examples. I use a software platform called sumo.com, and same, right? When I want to sign up, I actually go and search for sumo.com coupons. And what I found is they have a page talking about their discount codes itself. And if you look at their page itself, you'll see that they have all these things here. Some of these common terms they use are Sumo discount codes, Sumo Me discount codes, and all that. Now, these are basically keywords that basically they use to rank this page up to the top sites of Google itself. Okay? All right, so think about that for a moment, yeah? I think this is something interesting, and I think if you run an e-commerce store, go and do this tactic, I'm sure you'll see your conversions increase. Track that and see if it works or not, okay? Right, I'm gonna move on to the next thing. Now, idea number 3 is a landing page is often, most of the time, enough or better, right? So when it comes to an e-commerce site, a lot of people will go to things like Shopify and you have a beautiful site, you have all your products there, 10 or 12, you go work very hard on it, and then you launch it up to Facebook, you go and run some ads on Facebook, you run some, you send out in an email, and then nothing happens, right? Right? Nothing happens, nobody buy anything. Now the reason why sometimes nobody buys something is because they do not know what to buy. They do not know what to click on. They do not know where you want them to go, right? And therefore, we create landing pages because it's so directional and we know exactly, and we drive users to do exactly what we want them to do. So quick example, we have seen sites like this, right? Shopify sites. Okay, so look at this screenshot here. If you look at this screenshot as a user itself, when you land on this page, you'll be your eyes will be looking at the picture here. Oh, tomato, what is this and all that. You'll be like looking here and there, here and there, here and there. Oh, there's home, there's about us. recipe, your eyes will start darting everywhere. And then you go and click on our products. You go through a few of these things, you'll see, oh, got this product, or that product, got this. Then what you're going to do next is you're going to go and click on restaurant. They got restaurant now. So they got press, they got about us, they got recipes. You go through all the kind of thing. And then after that, you just abandon the whole site because it's too so much. You don't know what to do. Now, has this happened to you as well before? Yes? Anybody thinks that this has happened to you before? You've gone through, click, and then, okay, next time maybe lah. You get distracted maybe. You go back to Facebook and see what's on Facebook. Have that happened to you before? Same like window shopping, right? So what can we do to enhance this effect? What can we do to enhance this? What can we do to actually drive our users to make sure they take the action we want them to? So one of the quick ways to do this, right, is to create a landing page. So what is a landing page? If you're not familiar with landing pages are basically just a website itself. The only difference is a landing page has one goal itself, to do only one single thing itself. So if you look at our landing page that I've shown you here, I'm just going to show you one of the landing page, one button. You can have a few buttons as well. Okay. If you look at this landing page here, what do you see? Nothing at all. All right. This page has nothing. It's only just one single page. So when a user comes out here, they'll be like, what can I do? Nothing else except to put their name inside that sign up form, the name here, their email here, and click this button here. There's nothing else you can do. And you notice that we also take out the menus. No, normally you see sites, they have like menu here, the home, about us, contact us, and all that, right? So when you put in home, you put about us, you put contact us, you're actually putting out distraction points for your users to take. So my advice to you is, if you want someone to do something only, create a landing page without all this distraction. You don't need all that kind of stuff, right? Because again, it's never about you, it's about them. Put in about us, who wants about you, unless they really care, okay? All right, so question here, right? How do you fit a landing page into an existing website? Where do you put the landing page itself? So for this reason, I'm going to show you a live example of Lead itself. So I love to show examples because I think they work very well. So I'm sharing my screen right now on desktop. So if you go to the Lead, right? Our site is not the best out there. It's not the most beautiful site in the market itself, but we are working on it, okay? I promise you that. Anyway, how do we fit a landing page on an existing website? So if I go down here, you can see that we have upcoming events that are actually over. We haven't updated this one, so sorry for that. But when you click into one of these pages, let's say Full Stack 360, this one here, click into one of these, the site will lead into the landing page itself. So you can actually have landing pages within your website itself. See that? And now the user is no longer distracted. They only can do one thing, to read this page, this super long page. They can go nowhere. The only way they can go back is to hit the back button, okay? Or exit, right? And then you exit, you come back to our page, you see we have menus here again. See that? Same thing, right? So of course, some pages we actually include the menus, some pages we take out the menus itself. So we want to direct users to do the single thing that we want them to do, to click on something to read the whole page itself. All right, so put your questions in. I will answer those questions as we come back to this later on, yeah? Let me see, this one question here. How would you prefer to, as many sellers would prefer to sell in marketplaces, especially in Facebook Shop that introduce instead of creating landing page or e-commerce websites? Now, it really depends on the product itself, right? So I believe for Facebook marketplaces, you sell more of these commodities, right? But again, when it comes to your own landing page itself, there's so much you can do. Analytics, you can also sell your own stuff and all that. I think it depends on what you really sell. So pages versus landing pages, how do you weigh the pros and cons? Landing pages, they are basically more directed. So that's the pros. The cons is it takes time to build them. Right? You have to build again and again and again and again and more, right? So take an example, another one. Data career break. Again, and the landing page I've shown you here, right? Nothing else you can do except to click on name, email, and watch training now. That's it. right? So when we run an ad, when we do an advertisement on Facebook itself, we direct people to this page. There's nothing else they can do except to take an action here. And we get conversions like at least yeah, a minimum 4% and above for landing pages like this. Now, if I were to drive an advertisement into something like my site here, do you think any conversion is going to happen? We're going to lead people to finding like, oh, where to find what I want to find. I want to see upcoming events. It's not directed enough, right? So a website is good for you to show your brand, for you to show what you have in your site, what you have as a business. But if you want someone to take an action, it has to be a landing page itself, all right? How can you implement it with e-commerce? You build a separate landing page and attach it to your e-commerce site itself. So one way I can think with e-commerce is to run landing pages as promotions. So for example, when it comes to selling products on e-commerce, right? When you sell promotions, you build a special landing page for that. Now the user that lands on the landing page feels he or she is actually being introduced to something special aside from the normal e-commerce site. This is something else different, right? So thus the interest and the conversions will also increase that way. Okay, so it really depends. I'm not saying that landing page is the only thing you have to do. Of course, it would help you in your conversions, directed conversions. But once your customer knows your brand, they will be able to come back to your site and choose what they want, right? But for cold audiences, people who do not know our brand, when they come to an e-commerce site, they're going to be confused. So use a landing page to drive them towards taking the action you want them to, all right? Does landing pages applicable for e-commerce that sell healthy snacks? Of course, right? Depending on who you reach out to and who you speak to. Okay, create a landing page. For example, if I want to be selling healthy snacks that nobody knows about, what I'll do is I create a landing page as a starter kit and say, hey, this is your starter kit for maybe 80 ringgit instead of 160 ringgit. This is your starter kit tag. You found this page, it's a special page. Go ahead and click it and buy it, right? So I hope that helps. Anyway, I'm going to move on. I won't spend too much time here, but I'll come back and answer more questions if you have them for me, okay? So I'm going to stop let me just reshare my keynote. All right, so that's one tip for you. That's tip number 3, to actually remove the menus from the landing pages and use landing pages to sell something directed, okay? Right, so moving on to idea number 4. Now, I know that a lot of new site owners, they do this, and I want you to actually kill all these things, okay? So if you're running an e-commerce site today, especially if you're running like a SaaS business, if you're running a website, don't use stock photo. I don't know why people use stock photo. I understand. People use stock photo because it's easy to get across. It's easy to go and select. It's easy to go and buy or steal from somewhere. But please don't use stock photos. And the reason for stock photos is because nobody likes stock photos. Stock photos is a turn off, right? And do not actually represent your brand itself. All right, so let's be honest here, yeah? No shame again. Who here uses stock photo on your site? It's okay, I understand. I used to use stock photos on my site as well. I used to. Hey, Joseph is here. Thank you for joining us here. Stock photos are bad, right? So don't use stock photos. Take away stock photos. We hate stock photos. Stock photos are things like this you see on my screen here, right? It's like photos that you buy from a library somewhere. It's not you, but you put it on your site except for whichever reason. I do not know why. All right, so again, the rule is this: cheesy stock photos is a turn off and does not represent your brand, right? Especially if you're a Malaysian brand selling, let's say, peanut butter, and you put a Western man eating a peanut butter. Doesn't make sense, right? Doesn't feel like you at all. So don't use stock photos. Take away stock photos. If you can today, if you have a site today, after this webinar, go back to your site, remove all those stock photos, put you inside there, right? And you'll see your conversions increase. I promise you that, right? So don't use stock photos. And if you look at the right one, you look at this guy here, right? Look at this guy here. If you're if you're a site selling agency services or coding services, do you actually look like that? Do you actually work like this? Probably not, right? So why put these kind of things in there? Don't do that. Remove that, okay? All right, so another example. When it comes to data scientists, okay? When it comes to, so I promote all data science courses, right? And I see the market do this every single day. In fact, go and Google for data science courses or whichever, Malaysia, Singapore, the whole wide world. And people will come out with images like this. Oh, this is data science, you know, oh, when you learn data science, you look at numbers. projections or numbers, charts. You'll be looking like this into a projection of a glass that has projection of numbers, charts, and graph, right? And this is ridiculous because a customer look at this feels like, come on, a data scientist does not actually look like that at all. Do you want to see how a data scientist look like? Let me show you right now. This is how a data scientist look like. All right, so that's the truth. So when it comes to building sites, when it comes to increasing conversions, trust is a very huge factor, right? Likability is a huge factor. So don't put stock photos like this. Put the real photos. Let people know who you are and something that represents the brand itself. That's one tip I can give you. All right? That's Dr. Lau Chua, by the way. Anyway, idea number 5, cue the chatbots. Now, who here uses chatbot? Say yes if you use chatbot. Again, no shame in this, yeah. I also thought using chatbots before on Facebook Messenger. So who here uses a chatbot? Who here uses a chatbot? And if you use a chatbot, tell me the reason why you use a chatbot. I tell you the reason most people use chatbot. The reason most people use a chatbot is because they heard from someone saying chatbot is great. I'm serious. Okay, so I see a few using chatbot, right? Thought it was smart. Why do you use chatbot when it's smart? I'm using it, hate that beforehand. AI 24/7, fast response, so that if nobody has questions, they could ask us. Heard from those internet guru, right? Now, chatbots, I'm not saying chatbots are bad, yeah? I'm not saying chatbots are bad. But I don't think it helps small businesses. I really don't think it helps small businesses. And if you do not believe me, I'm sure you have heard about Azure's chatbot. Okay, who here has spoke with, I don't know, Ava or Ava? Azure Virtual All-Star. Who here has spoke to this chatbot here? All right, and love the chatbot. Who here loves Azure chatbot? All right, who say yes, I love Azure chatbot? Azure is a big company, yeah? It's a big company, yeah? You're a small company and using chatbot. Now, Azure will be able to build a chatbot which is more sophisticated more than you, right? And still, all of you here today say you hate the chatbot. So what are you as a small business using chatbots today? Think about that for a moment. Look at that, comments here. Hate it, worse, very irritating. If it's not working for Azure, why we use it? Right? And if you go online, go to forums, you see people hate the chatbot itself. Why? Because it's very irritating. I agree with you. It's very irritating. It doesn't help them. You spend more time. It's counterproductive. It's counterintuitive. Right? Now, why do people push chatbots so much? Because they look good in the budget spreadsheet. Right? The economists will come into the room and say, hey, chatbot will actually help us reduce our costs because we successfully cut down customer support costs and save how much budget a year by cutting all our customer service, and we can use chatbot to develop all of that, right? We all seen that before, right? Okay, automated response is okay, so it's not a chatbot. Don't worry. So the economist or someone who looks at spreadsheets alone, who is not a marketer, who is not a business owner, he'll say things like this. He'll say things, oh, because we use chatbot because we can cut customer support costs and save so much money in a year, right? And we'll say things like, oh, it looks like our support time has dropped and chatbots is effective. But that's only because they did not track that nobody likes using chatbot in the first place, right? So to further illustrate my point, now, a hotel doorman, you've been to a hotel before, right? So expensive hotels, cheap hotels. Now, coming back to the picture, are hotel doormen necessary or not? Are they necessary? Now, some of you who think like an economist would say, no, replace them with an automatic door, right? Save costs. We don't have to pay doormen at hotels anymore. But a marketer or someone who thinks creatively might say, hey, a doorman might just help us increase the price that we can sell for a room in the hotel itself because of the feeling, because of the extra services that a customers feel when someone is there to open the door for them. Someone is there to greet them by their name. The business owner will be able to sell hotels at a higher rate, right? I mean, not during the MCO itself, but does this make sense to you right now? Right? And this is the reason why I would say I'll go against chatbots, right? Until you can come to a level to automate a few things, then yes, right? Yes, I mean, to be honest, chatbot does help certain level for instant responses, But again, we don't need chatbots at this point of time. I really don't think so. So my proposal, if not using chatbot, is to simply use a live chat, right? And the thing about this is your customers will understand. I know you're not always there. So a live chat today can actually have like a double side kind of thing. You can actually chat live with your customers. And if you're not around, you can have a few quick responses, not like a chatbot level, but have a quick responses where they can take action to. For example, if you're not around, they can look at places like, drop an email instead. That would work itself. Now, because with a live chat and you talk to people, you basically can go into down to their empathy level with them and speak on their level, right? And people like that. People like it when someone real, a human, is actually helping them with whatever they have to do or whatever they have to ask itself. So this is live chat, right? And if this sounds like a lot of work, right? You say, oh, I cannot automate and all that. Well, running a business is a lot of work. So something that you can think about. Many agencies and internet gurus are using chatbot to do retargeting. Is that not necessary? Now that really depends again. Think of you as a user itself. Do you like the experience of speaking to a chatbot? If you don't like that experience, why would your customers like that experience, right? So there's a few tools you can use to do a chatbot. Not chatbot, live chat, sorry. Things like Lucky Orange, Zendesk Chat, Intercom. These tools they have free plans. Get started with them. Implement live chat. And to further illustrate my point, to show you extra proof, right? This thing really works, okay? So this is a screenshot here, not from me, but from a customer that sent his screenshot over to me, okay? And I just used his screenshot here. I protected his name, so you don't know who he is, right? So basically what happened is he came into this, my checkout page, which is really simple again, but had this problem of checking out, right? A bug here. We were unable to process our order. Please try again, right? Now, a chatbot would not be able to help him. I guarantee you that, right? But what he did is he tapped this small little bar here, right? And then, boop, I was there to speak to him. So I'll say, hey, Tash, that's the short form of his name. I'm here to help. What's the error you see? All right, this is him, you is him. So we were unable to process the order. Please try again. And then I asked him to do a screenshot so I can see what's on his screen. And he sent me the screenshot, which is this one, and I totally understand what he's seeing right now. So a live chat will be a lifesaver when it comes to putting one at your checkout page itself, because you do not know if people hit into problems like this, right? They want to buy something, they get into a frustration because they hit into a quick issue or a road bump, and they want to speak to someone immediately. A chatbot will not help you in this situation. Okay, you have to be there to help your customers itself. So, okay, questions about this tip before I move on? Or arguments on this tip before I move on? I wouldn't say arguments, yeah. I would say this is more of a discussion, yeah. All right, I'm going to move on again. If there are no questions, I'm going to move on. I'll come back and answer that later on again. All right, so idea number 6, okay, is to re-engage users. This is sort of retargeting and remarketing, who leave without checking out. So there's a surprising number of e-commerce sites itself again today who do not have this set up yet before. So what we can do is we can re-engage users who leave our cart without checking out. Now, sometimes there's no reason why they leave. It's just that they want to think extra, dwell around it before. And then the thing about that is they forgot about what they want to buy after they leave your site itself. So one of the things we can do is to figure out how we can help our customers solve their doubt itself. Now, a majority of re-engagement emails sucks, right? And the reason they sucks is because they assume that people just want to buy something, okay? And I'm going to help you fix that. So what does assume means? I assume customers forget, right? You forget to buy. I assume that customers left the cart for no absolute reason. I assume that customers do not know how to check out. So I just retarget them without any empathy at all. Hey, you forgot this in your cart. Please click here and check it out. And customer be like, that's another retargeting email, right? Now, who has received this kind of emails before and feel like, meh, I'm sure you have received something like that before. I'm confirm you have received something before and you feel like, nothing special lah. right? Because a lot of these re-engagement emails, what they do is they assume that the customers just forgot, right? They don't see what is the real problem of their customers itself. So assume means make an ass of you and also me, right? We all know this. So what can we do? Is to use the same thing, but we change the message a little bit. So I'm not saying that my message is the best, but this is a sort of a way that you should change the whole framework, right? So what can you observe here? So this is one of my emails automated that are sent to people when people do not actually check out. What do you see? What do you observe from this email that I sent out? These are all automated emails, yeah? These are not like emails that I manually send out. This is a re-engagement email. So what happens is when someone comes to my e-commerce site, they put in the details but did not check out, this is an email that gets sent to them. So what do you observe here? I'm going to give you a few seconds while I take a sip of water. What do you observe here? What can we, I'm not saying this is the best again, but I put in some I would say techniques, yeah, that make this different from the earlier kind of re-engagement email that I showed you earlier. Okay, so the earlier one is this one here, just like that, very simple. All right, the one I did is this. Love you, like Joseph. Personalization and empathy. Okay, so one of the things I think one of the things that Joseph says is right here. Now, one of the things is I personalize. Also, I sent this email to myself, yeah, to show you this example. So you see that hi Ruben from Ruben, which is a little bit silly, but this is because I personalize it. So one of it is, well, personalization. So personalization is very, very useful, right? So we call people by their names. Nothing feels better than calling you by the name. For example, I'm going to say, hey, Joseph, I appreciate you being here, right? So personalization is one very important thing, right? What else do you see here? Now, one of the biggest things that I put inside here that I see no people do is that I ask them to reply to me. Which e-commerce site today asks people to reply? Right? Now, the thing about this is when you ask your customers for reply, and this comes from the CEO or the head of marketing or whoever, it feels suddenly special, right? It's like, wow, the CEO is reaching out to me and asking for a response, right? And again, we do not assume, right? We assume like it's already such confusing. It's something you want to ask. Is there something else that you want to do? Is this something not you do not want to buy, right? You don't assume that they want to buy something because they put in a name. So one is personalization. Number two is we do not assume that they want to buy immediately, right? We ask them, what is it we can help you with? What can I help you with? Right? Don't just assume. Assumption is making an ass of you and me. Number three, what else? What do we see here? Most important thing, and this is one of my best techniques ever, is to always ask for a reply, right? When you ask for a reply, a retargeting email like this becomes personal. It becomes something like a conversation instead of a flyer. All right, most emails are sent like a flyer. People hate receiving flyers. People love to be responded to by real people. So when it comes to re-engagement, put in these three little things here. Personalization, don't assume, and always ask for a reply. Now, most of the time, they won't actually reply to you. But if they do, you're quite guaranteed that the person who replied to you is a customer itself. Will be a customer itself. Okay? So I hope that helps you. All right, so idea number 7 is to see where to put conversion handles. So we're going to go into something more technical this time, and I'll be showing you some practical ways of doing this on your site itself and how you can get started with this. All right, so we've gone through some of the mindset kind of thing. In idea 7, we're going to look at where to put conversion handles. When I say handles, it means your buttons, it means the call to action materials on your page itself. And sometimes it's not just about pushing your conversion buttons up, right? You cannot assume that again. Again, assume means making an ass of you and me. So remember that, put that in your head. So for example, when you have a content piece, or when you have like a site which is long or has content on it, you want to make sure, or you want to check basically to see where your audience are looking at and where they are scrolling to. So for example, I think I made a video here. Yeah, you can see this video here. The red one means they are looking at that. And you can see in this recording here, as we scroll down to the bottom part, almost nobody actually goes down to the point here. Do you see that? So the red one means people are looking at it. The ones without the color means that people are not actually scrolling down to that point. See that? So I'm going to play for that for you again. Right? If you look at this page itself, we know where do our audience look at. So if you are a website developer today, UX, UI designer, marketer, business owner, whichever, what would you do to improve this page itself? So this is known as a content scrolling heat map, right? So we're looking at the heat. So what will you do to improve this? So one of the things that can improve this is to push up the comments above, because we know that people actually look above, right? Why should we put all these text here when there's no value to it, right? I'll push my video above, and if I want to get more comments from this page itself, I'll push my comment box above itself, right? And I've noticed that nobody actually watched the testimonial videos below here. Can you see these testimonials here? We have 3 videos here. There you go. This is video number 1, video number 2, video number 3, right? So if nobody is watching my videos, why put it there? I can just take and remove this because it cuts down the bandwidth and makes my page load slower. So take it out. So this is one way you can actually improve on the page itself, right? By looking at the content scroll and where our users are actually looking at on our site itself. Now, we can do the same for our checkout page. We can do the same for our e-commerce page itself, your product page, your landing page, whichever page you have on your website. You can do this for every single one of them and really understand what your users are reading, what your users are looking at, and what are they taking action on, and what are they not taking action on. So think about your own site today. Do you have like an e-commerce site with all these products? Now, do you know which products people are clicking on, which products people are looking at, and which products they are not looking at? And how can you optimize that? Think about it for a moment. Okay, so this is known as a heat map. Very useful tool, and I'm going to introduce to you at the end of today's session, okay? All right, moving on. Let's move on to more things. So I'm moving a bit fast now. Idea number 8, quick one, is to slim down your website. Okay, your website might be maybe just too fat today. Right, I'm not. So what I mean by slimming down your website is, today a lot of sites today are getting bigger and bigger. If you're on a WordPress site today, you have all these animations, sliders, animations, and all that. But the thing about those things, it decreases the speed of your site itself, and thus your site will load slow. So what happens to slow sites? People hate slow sites. So if you look at the quick research this is done by Akamai, I think. So a 1-second delay in site load speed will result in 11% fewer page views, 16% decrease in customer satisfaction, and 7% loss in conversions. Now, I'm not the one who said this. If you want to check out who said this, go and search for this company called Akamai Data Management Platform, I think. Yeah. So I just put this out from their reports. This is not something that I put out. I wouldn't know. Anyway, the point is the human attention span today, all of us, is shorter than a goldfish. Who here knows how long a goldfish can retain its memory? How long? 3 seconds, 7 seconds, 2 seconds. How long can a goldfish retain its memory? The goldfish is probably the stupidest fish in the market, I mean. I think it's around 6 seconds, to be honest. I can't remember the right number, but if a goldfish can remember things for 6 seconds, a human can remember less than that. All right, we are so distracted today with all the things on Facebook, with all the things on our site today. So therefore, if your site loads so slow, right, above 6 seconds, you can forget about getting conversions today. Okay, so a good rule of thumb, let me just clear this drawing. A good rule of thumb is to load below 3 seconds. Now, it's going to be really hard to load below 3 seconds, to be honest. I think some of our best sites also load like with all this e-commerce stuff, yeah, it loads like 4 seconds, maybe 5 seconds. One way to test this out is to use something like Google Page Speed Insights and see how fast your site loads. Would you want to try this right now? Or can I try someone's site? All right, who want me to try this site on my page right now? And I'll show you some pointers of what you can fix and what you can do. Yeah? Okay, let me share my screen. So to look for it, basically just go, okay, Selangor models. Great, that's great. Selangor, you can see my screen, yeah? selangormodels.com. All right, again, no worries about sharing our website here. I'm promoting it for you to everyone here today, yeah? So that's great. So Selangor Models looks good. I love the site. Okay, so now when I look at the site as a user, right, I'll look at it and say like, okay, what do you want me to do? All right, about us again, people care about themselves, not about you. Okay, yeah, established. You see, so I'm not saying that this is a bad site. I'm not saying that a lot of people talk about themselves, but not about their customers, and we can change that, right? When someone comes into your site, what is the benefit for them to stay here and spend more than 6 seconds? All right, think about that for a moment. Okay, anyway, let's look at your page speed, right? So to look at page speed, just go and Google for Google Page Speed Insights. And the first one is here, Page Speed Insights by Google developers. Click on that, put in your URL, and click on Analyze. Now, the site here, I mean, the results here might disappoint you, but don't get disappointed here. Okay, it's analyzing. Let's look at the site speed of this one, all right? All right, so you can see that Google Page Speed Insight will tell you the results on a mobile first before desktop. And the reason for that is because a lot of our users today are on a mobile phone, and mobile phone is kind of like more important in the eyes of Google. So you can see that it loads to 24% speed. And of course, this tool will tell you like, what can you do? Right, so you can see that your images are huge, like 117 KB, which is not actually that huge in a way, but they tell you that, oh, you can save this and make it smaller. Okay, we can see there's a few things that they suggest for you that you can change. So normally the site speed on a mobile phone would be slower compared to a desktop. So desktop, you're scoring about 74%. All right. Okay, let's try another one. Yeah. Let's look at Go Kudos. So this is fun. I like to do this live. Oops. Go kudos.io. All right, so go kudos.io. AI debt collector is in the works, starting from 99 bucks. The countdown will start soon. Register now to get our latest updates and promo here. This looks like, right? Okay, so I think this will load really fast. Okay, so let's go and look at it. Analyze it. Okay, anyway, don't get discouraged by the numbers you see here. Again, this is just an indicative number. Don't worry if your site loads slow. But of course, there's few ways you can just go and speed up faster. But keep in mind that the slow site is not liked by Google, and your users won't like it as well. So try to make it fast. All right, so you can see this is 11. Painfully slow, and the reason why is because of the render blocking resources. Now, if you don't understand what this is, go and work with a developer who will tell you what this is and what you can do to increase the speed. But this will give you a quick comment. The reason why we are seeing this so slow is because of all the CSS inside, the cascading style sheet that gives you the colors and all that. And this is probably a WordPress site, that's why it's so slow. So WordPress sites are always a bit slower compared to sites that you build from ground up. They're not that optimized yet. You have to do some optimization on your site itself. All right, so this is the mobile speed on a mobile phone, and desktop will be much better, 41, right? Okay, so anyway, I'm not going to spend much time on this one here. We're going to come back into this later on if you want to, and I will come back to this later on, okay? So question, right? Is it better to use existing website? Let me just copy this so everyone can see here, yeah? Okay, so the question is a good question. I think I love this question of yours. But how do I click this question? Hold on, I'm trying to get the chat out here. Okay, so the question is it better to use existing website? right, than such as Weebly and Wix compared to using WordPress. Now it really depends, right? So a company like Weebly and Wix, they might have already done their own optimization and help you achieve higher speeds. The downside to that is because things like WordPress, things like Wix and Weebly, they are limited in ways of scalability. Okay, so there are pros and cons. Of course, with WordPress, you can also optimize it. You can remove things that you don't need and use all sorts of optimization techniques and plugins to actually make it faster. So there's a way to actually speed up your site as well. Right, so there's no wrongs or rights to using whichever platform. It's just understanding how to optimize it. And first of all, you need to be aware if your site is slow or not. Okay, so go and use it. Yeah, before I go on, I'll just share you this link so you can go and check it out. Okay, so the page speed insights is this one here. Go and try it out if you want to on your own site itself. All right, let's continue, and I'll come back to this later on if you like me to. So the culprits that slows down a site, they are usually things like this, right? Large email file sizes. So what you can do is you can use Pixel or Photoshop to downsize those images. And a good general thumb of rule, right, is to resize image down to at least 80 KB and below. I know that sounds small, but think about the number of images you have in a site. If you have 10 images, right, of 80 KB each, that's 800 KBs on the site itself. And a good rule of thumb, again, is to have like below 3 MB per page itself. Again, these are all basically just guidelines. You don't have to actually follow this. But think about it for a moment, yeah? And the smaller your site is, the faster your load. All right, moving on. Now, second culprit is normally slow hosting. If you are signed up to a slow host, then you'll see that you have to move to a faster host. Number 3, you probably don't have cache activated, right? So go and get help from a developer to enable page and also browser caching. And number 4, you have too many third-party scripts. For example, you have Google Analytics, you have Google Tag Manager, you have all these analytics and all that inside your site itself. And some of these softwares or platforms do not use a CDN, a content delivery network, to drive their services on your site itself. That slows down the site itself. All right, so these are a few things that you have to take note of. All right, so moving on from here into idea number 9. All right, so my last 2 ideas today is going to be more tactical. It's going to be more exciting in a way. All right, so number 9, when I talk about lead capture, right, you have seen things like this. Those kind of like, let's change my color. These things like lead form here, right? And some of you say, oh, I hate this, like Ruben. This is like lousy stuff. I hate this on the site. Now, who here hates these kind of things? You hate these kind of things. You see something, you feel like, ah, shit, I hate it. I go into Lazada, pop, come out, I hate it, you know? Who hates these kind of things? Yes? So Zach don't like it. All right, Glenn also don't like it, right? Very annoying. Lead capture forms, annoying. Even the one with Ruben's face here, also annoying. Oh my gosh. Okay, so lead capture is a great way to collect emails and also your customers or your visitors database and convert them into customers later on, right? And the reason why so many of you say it's annoying is because of the boringness here. Like, I don't even want that, right? Some don't even have cancel button. See the cancel button is so small. No thanks is so small here, right? And you don't like how it looks right now. And the reason why you hate it is because it does not provide value to you, right? If it provides value to you, you'll love it. If it doesn't provide value, you hate it no matter what it is. No matter whether it's big, small, medium, large, you hate it anyway, right? So the thing we can get right here is to use very, very targeted pop-ups to your users depending on where they came from. All right, and I want to show you this live and show you how this works on a page that I built earlier on. Now, so the trick to actually getting this to work on your site, lead pop-up forms, is to show this very, very targeted. And how do we do this? For example, let me just share my screen again to show you how this would work in the real life situation. So if you go to my, okay, let me show you first, yeah, and then I'm going to let you try. So if you go to this page here, okay, I'm going to show you this. if you go to this and give a refresh, all right, when I do a refresh, you'll see that we have this pop-up that comes up above here. Get React Flow Pro before it's gone with this button here, right? Of course, you can cancel it. So this is not personalized enough. It's just generating, and that's why you hate it so much, right? But all of you here today in a webinar, let's say you came to my webinar and then you enjoyed the webinar, right? Now I'm going to give you a different link, and when you click on that link itself, let's give. Okay, watch this, yeah. Watch this. I'm going to go here again and put a different link. It comes back to the same page, but what you see is going to be a personalized message right now. Do you see this? Came from webinar, get React Flow Pro with bonus. All right. Now, this is the method to actually make your lead capture forms more personalized and more lovable by people. It begins to relate from them. Okay, so some quick use cases, yeah. So for example, let's say you are advertising on places like entrepreneur.com. So if a visitor in entrepreneur.com clicks on a link, come into your site, do you have a pop-up that shows them exactly what they want to see? For example, hey, welcome, entrepreneur.com readers, right? So what we're doing here is we are personalizing the message to the people who actually come into our site. So if they come on Facebook, you can put a message and say, hey, welcome from Facebook. That's one way you can do, right? So the way we can actually make this better is to personalize it. So how do we do this? That's the next question you have, right? Now this works for a bar like this. This also works like a bar on the lead capture. This works for a lot of different things. And the way we do this, or the way I do this, is I use a software called Sumo, all right? It's called, let me just share my screen again. Sorry for that. Okay, I use a software called sumo.com. You can try it as well. It's free to start. You don't have to actually go and buy the, oops. You don't have to go and buy the premium plan. You can always use the standard plan before you get into the personal plan. Type this up for you. It's called sumo.com. And basically what you do is you put in a query parameter, this one you see here, that exists with Web React here. So we can see that in my example here, I've selected a rule to show a different form when someone comes in with the link of Web React. Okay, but there's one more thing you can see here as well. We have this thing called referrer. It's a bit faded here, but from referrer, we can change different things. For example, certain rules I can set is when user come from, let's say, entrepreneur.com, show them this message, which is something, 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 right? When user come from, let's say, Facebook, we show them a different message again. So think about things you can do in this example for an e-commerce site, for your website itself. When users come in from different kind of sources, you show them different messages, you show them different pop-up that is personalized to them. And immediately this actually increases the conversion rates that you get, whether it's collecting leads, whether it's getting people to buy something, whether it's getting them to do something in the site itself. So I hope this little tip helps you here. All right, so my final tip today is personalization. Now we're on the topic of personalization, and I believe that personalization is the future of marketing and also the internet, right? We all love personalization. We love to see our names there. We love to see when the brand knows about us, care about us, okay? So how do we do personalization on the very, very, very basic level? Now, one of the ways to do that is to use Google Optimize. Now, how many of you here have used Google Optimize before? Can I see a show of hands, or say yes if you use it before in the chat section? Yes, Google Optimize. One of the best tools when it comes to e-commerce. Only one? Who else have used this before? Never use, right? I'm going to teach you how to use this, yeah? And I want you to try this after the webinar itself. Go and play a bit. I think it's one of the best tools you can use when it comes to personalization. And it's free also for the first 5 experiments or so. Okay, so what can you personalize? A few things you can personalize from this tool. One is to personalize by the device category. So for example, as an e-commerce website or as a website, you can personalize based on what your visitors are using. So let's say if they coming from a mobile phone, right? You can show them a different message compared to if they come in from a desktop itself. For example, if they use or geography, right? So geography would mean like if they coming from, if they use and enter your site in KL, you show them something based on where they are. So you're actually personalizing the message on the page itself based on where they came from, based on what they do, their behavior. Let's say they came back the second time, you show a different thing. For example, if you're e-commerce site, if you notice that your customer come back 3-4 times, on the 4th time he came back or she came back, you can say, hey, you've been here for 4 times. Here's a discount code for you. That's personalization. Okay, and we can do this with Google Optimize. So I'm going to show you how to do this with Google Optimize, and this is a very, very impactful technique. So what we're going to do is use Google Optimize. I'm going to share my screen again to show you how I would use this in real life. Okay, so let me just share my screen. There we go. All right, so just go to Google Optimize, go and Google it, right? You'll see that we have this thing here. Let me just click into this and I'll share with you the link itself. All right, so I'll show you how to sign in Optimize. You don't have to do this right now. You can try this later on. And again, I'm recording this screen so you can actually refer back to the videos after we have done with this webinar itself. So in Google Optimize, what we do is we basically test a few different things here and there. So I've got this empty account. I'm going to show you a quick way of testing one of my pages. Yeah. Again, this is empty and this is my test account, so you won't see much that is going on here. So what I'm going to do in this page here is to create an experience. And let's call this based on, let's say locations, okay? Personalized by, I got one here. Personalized by location 2. Okay, and I want to test maybe this page of mine, the lead.io/Facebook ad dive. All right, so instead of A/B testing, instead of multivariate testing, we want to personalize for our targeted users. So let's get and click on this one and click on create. Now I'm doing this quite fast here. All right, so one of the things we can do here right now is to click on make site changes. So ideally, we create 2 different sites and we test them between different tools, right? So one that shows for something and the other that shows for something else, something like that. So think of it as maybe having 2 versions, 3 or 4 versions, right? Again, keep things simple. Maybe 2 or 3 versions would be enough. So I click on make site changes, okay? Now, Google Optimize is going to go back to my site right now and show me parts of my site where I can actually optimize and personalize from. Okay, so one thing we can do from here, okay, so my site is loaded here right now, right? So one thing I'm going to do is, let's say I want to change my headline to reflect to people coming in from KL, okay? So let's say if they're coming from KL, I'm going to edit this element, edit this text, and I'm doing this on top of my site. Yeah, this is from Google Optimize. It's not from my site backend itself. I'm doing this on top of my site. So first thing we can do is like say, maybe they are from KL. So I'm going to say, run better campaigns or run better Facebook ads in Kuala Lumpur. All right. Now, so when someone comes in today from KL, he's going to see like, wow, run better Facebook ads in Kuala Lumpur today. Huh. When someone comes in from Penang, I'm going to say run better Facebook ads in Penang today. Straight away, the user will feel like, wow, this is talking about me himself. Okay, so this is a quick example. We can change a lot of things. We can change the video here. We can change the button here. For example, we can change this to, let's say I'm going to change this to, what's the KL slang? If you're a KL guy, support me lah. Okay, if you're a KL guy, support me lah, done. That's it. Okay, this is one quick example. So anybody that comes in from KL would see this copy, and this will be personalized towards them itself. Now, this is a quick example. You can always personalize different kind of stuff as well. So once you're happy with that, click on Save. And we're going to go back to Google Optimize by clicking on this button here. And we're going to set the rules. All right. So again, you can personalize by many ways: locations, geographic locations, devices, and a lot of different things. Okay, going back here. And what we're going to do right now is our audience targeting. You see this thing? I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Audience targeting, we're going to change this to target visitors. I'm going to customize this. And all right, from here, you can see this again, right? We can target people based on the UTM parameter. UTM meaning that the link that you have in your link above, UTM, tracking modules. Device, meaning that you can personalize people based on your mobile, tablet, or desktop devices. Behavior, let's say your visitors come back the second time, you can put a message that say, hey, thanks for coming back again. Welcome back. This is your voucher for you, right? Geography, technology, and more advanced stuff like query parameters, first-party cookies. That means you can customize their, if you collect that data, right? You can target based on their data that you have. Anyway, I'm not going to go into this advanced stuff because it's very technical. I'm going to use something like maybe geography. Yeah. So I'm going to choose geography. And I'm going to say the city equals to Kuala Lumpur. There we go. Kuala Lumpur. So whenever someone comes in from Kuala Lumpur right now, they will see my Kuala Lumpur copy. Make sense? All right, so this is how it works. Personalization is best. Of course, we can make different changes. We can go and add a new page and create different layouts for people that comes in from different geographic locations as well. All right, and once you have set all these things up, you basically just go up here and click on the big button here, Start. Right, and hit on Start. That's it. Now, I've not installed it, so I've actually cannot start this right now, but I'm going to click on Start. So when someone comes in into your page, yeah, okay, so it's running right now. Let me see if I can show you here. Okay, so I dive. When someone comes into your page itself, they would see the different kind of copy again, right? Depends on where they are. Now, I'm not actually activated it before. You saw that error message, so you won't see, you probably won't see the headline change here for me, all right? Anyway, questions on this, ask me right now. I'll be happy to help you, okay? Okay, can Sumo do what Google Optimize does? Not to this extent, but to an extent of showing different messages based on their URLs and also their JavaScript codes, right? So yeah, you can do something like Google Optimize, but not to the extent of like geographic level and all that. The reason why Google Optimize can do that level is because we have Google Analytics and Google knows where you are coming from, right? Google has all this data. They know who you are, they know your locations and all that, and that's why they're able to actually optimize it based on the data that they know about you. Okay, so this is amazing. Do we have to create geographical targeting for each location? Yes, if you want to actually do like a very detailed, you would have to do for every geographic location. But my advice to you is to keep it simple. Think of like 2 or 3 variants enough. 2 or 3 is enough, yeah? So that is now 2 or 3 variants are enough. Don't go more than that, right? If you do so much of that, then it becomes too much for you as well. So just do 2 or 3, test it out. If it's working, then great, then it will work, all right? Personalization by language, I'm not too sure, to be honest. Let me just see if I can find it here, okay? I'm not too sure because I'm not done personalized based on language before, but I believe you can, right? So I believe you can. Should be possible too. So maybe based on your code from your site, and then you link it up with JavaScript. So I'll suggest that you dig around a little bit and see if you can do it from Google Optimize itself. I'm not too sure because I've not done it. But yeah, try and see. I think this is a great tool to play around for your e-commerce site and get creative with it. Yeah. Point is, get creative with it. I think you can go really far with this because personalization is the future of marketing, to be honest. All right, so that is Go Optimize. I hope that helped you, and I've given you something to test and play around during the Raya break, I hope. So I have one more bonus idea for you, okay? I told you 10, but this is my 11th bonus idea before we go on to the introduction of the platform. So this bonus idea is to watch where your customers first lands on, right? So what I mean by this is when we have a site today, we have this beautiful homepage, right? So to most website owners, they have this assumption, again, as of you and me, assumption that their visitors will actually land on their homepage itself. So for example, on the right, you can see this is my site, ordermentor.com, right? And the first assumption is, oh, people will actually land on my homepage, but don't assume that people will land on your homepage first. And the truth is, most do not actually. So how do we track this out? How do we find out which page do our users land on? And the way to do that is to use Google Analytics. So Google Analytics is a free platform again by Google. And what you can do is you can go into Google, go down into acquisition. I placed down the steps here, right? So go into Google. If you've already set this up, go into acquisition, go into search console, and go into landing pages, all right? So what's going to happen here is you'll be able to see all the pages that your visitors first landed on. And this is really important because it tells you your top best landing pages. And it's normally not your homepage itself, right? So let me just clear this. So if you look at mine, this is real data from ordermentor.com. You can see that my 10 top pages, right? Top 10 pages here, they're not home pages at all. You see that? So most of the users that land on my site are all these things here. It's this, right? They're not home pages at all. So if you look at your Google Analytics right now, do you see if people land on your homepage or people don't land on your homepage? Chances are your homepage will be somewhere at the bottom here. Okay, who here does not have Google Analytics set up? Do not have Google Analytics set up? Or you don't know what I'm talking about? You don't know what's Google Analytics at all? To access Google Analytics, let me start this for you. Still not using it. Okay, if you're not using it, go and use it. It's a free tool, so no reason why not to use it, yeah? Go and use it. Okay, it's Analytics. Go and search for Google Analytics. It's free. Go and install it for your site. After a few days, 2-3 days, you'll be able to see all this data. And this data will give you the ideas to optimize and to improve the convertibility on your site itself. All right. And one of the most important things is to look at the landing pages itself, because these pages are where your users first landed on your site. So when they first land on your site, you want to give a good impression, right? And these are those sites that you can implement the A/B testing. You can implement the personalization. So if I were to implement like personalization, like what I told you just now, personalization, using Sumo, for example, for the lead capture forms, I'll put them all in these top pages here because I know users first landed from these pages here, okay? And then what I'll do is I will reverse engineer and see where does my users come from, right? Do they come from Google? Do they come from Facebook? And how can I personalize these messages for people who came in from those different kind of sources, all right? So this is how we reverse engineer and work backwards in a way. All right, so I hope this helped you. I hope this is not too technical for you. And if you have questions, let me know in the chat section. And I'll move on to my last few remaining slides for today. Okay, now, at this point here, any questions before I move on? Okay, from Zukli one, yeah. I've seen advertisement on the screen, left side, when we open our Facebook newsfeed, which personalizes if we haven't checked out yet. Any software we can use for this and how to do this? Okay, if it's on Facebook, it's called Facebook ads, right? And it's remarketing ads, right? So remarketing, you can look at Facebook dynamic ads. That's how you can create dynamic ads which are personalized to you. So check that out, okay? Okay, let's explain that later on, yeah? All right, so no question, I'm gonna move on. Now, I know at this point, a lot of you are gonna say, Ruben, everything you suggested can be argued. right? You said do landing pages, you said do this, do that, do personalization. Everything you say can be argued, and maybe it doesn't work for me. And the point is, I agree that 10 tips and 11 tips that I've shown you may or may not work for you. But this is why you must test it for yourself, right? You shouldn't just take advice bluntly because your scenario today is different. Your business is different. The size of your business could be huge, could be small, and the scenario for that is totally different. So never just take advice from me, anybody, but you have to test it for yourself. And the way you test it is to use tools like Google Analytics, Google Optimize, and also a tool that I'm going to be introducing to you. All right. So if your strategy for your website or your e-commerce site is, I took advice from some people I watched without thinking twice or testing it, you're going to face problems, man. Now, I know in the past few weeks and all that, you've seen images like this, right? This guy I love the most here. All right, so don't take advice from people. I mean, some people give good advice. I agree. Maybe I give good advice. I believe that I give good advice as well. But you have to actually test those strategies and see if that works for you. All right. And for this reason, I'm going to introduce you to a deal that we have got in today, and we are able to offer to you this deal at a very low rate itself. So earlier I told you in Digital Kit, we started off as an initiative, right? But soon after, we actually partnered up with different software makers and negotiated with them to actually get cheaper discounts for you. All right, so I'll introduce you to Reactflow. This is a platform that we have actually negotiated with. And what it is an all-in-one conversion optimization platform that tells you why your visitors do not convert. So what it does is what I showed you earlier: video recordings, heat maps, funnel analytics, and very interestingly, it tells you bugs as well. So for example, when someone goes through your website, checks out on maybe your products, and then hits a bug, right? You wouldn't know about that. But this software helps you to actually inform you when that bug happened, right? Immediately. So video recordings again, bug notifications, heat maps and content scroll, like the one I showed you earlier, funnel analytics, and also pop-up feedback forms, right? So how does video recording works? I'm going to show this quick video here that I have. Video recording specifically tells you exactly what your customers are doing, so you can take the actions to optimize it. And you're able to tell the visitor's city, country, device he is using, and every single thing from this quick software itself. Do you see this one here? All right, so you can tell the visitor's city, the country he's using, right? The devices he or she is using, whether it's on a mobile phone, on a computer, on desktop. What's the computer OS? Is it on a Mac? Is it on a Windows? You can see this Windows here. What browser is he or she using? Is it a Chrome browser, or is it a Safari browser, or what is, right? Is he a new or returning user? The number of page browsed, the source of traffic, does it come from Facebook ads, or where? And the time on the site itself, all right? And this is such an amazing tool. Let me show you more. So that is video recordings. Now the second thing is, so yeah, this is a quick video recording that we saw on our own site itself. This is the lead.io. And let me just play this for you. So this is one particular visitor who actually came to our site itself, and the whole site looks terrible to him, right? And the reason for that is because he came in on Internet Explorer. And Internet Explorer actually loads very badly on our site, and it's all broken. So we wouldn't know this, right, if we didn't actually look at the video recording, right? So this is a video recording of his activity, and I've actually fastened the playback speed by 10 times to quickly make it run in this webinar. But you can see that when it comes to the checkout page here, this particular user simply just clicks on here. He thought that this thing is the payment button itself, but that's not a button, that's a banner. So when I look at this video, right, I immediately think like, hey, can we actually remove this thing here or not? Right, because people are clicking on it. See all these dots here? That is him clicking on that button, but he did not actually put his name here, right? So that's a road bump. That's a bug on our user's end. So using this video recording, we begin to actually look at ways we can improve that by hiding off this little thing here to show this only after they've clicked out, put in a name and click out from there. So these are some ways we can use video recordings to our advantage. All right, next thing here is the bugs feature. So I'm going to show you the bugs feature, how it works. It's also very interesting. So basically when someone goes through your site, right, and let's say they hit into a bug, within their console log, which is your browser recording, is you'll record all these errors here, right? Something is wrong, right? When you click on buy now, it doesn't work. It's clicking on the button, it's not leading you anywhere, and something is wrong, right? So this happens to us all the time. Whether you run an e-commerce site, whether you run a normal site, all these things happens to us, all these errors here, but we do not know about it. And then we wonder, right? What happens to our site? Why nobody is buying from our site, right? We run ads, we do all this thing and that, but nobody is buying, right? Well, there are a few cases. For example, your payment form is not working, your button is not working, there's a 4 page, mobile view is off, page not loading, and really much more than that, right? So what we can do from here is to be notified for these bugs itself. So this is how the bug tracking in the software works. And this actually happened to us just a few days ago, right? So this is a screenshot from my internal Slack team. So you can see that just a few days ago, right, I noticed that one of our pages here, Python Sprint Online Workshop, we left a testing on here, the testing on, and we run ads again and again and again, and we do not know why nobody converted, right? We tested A/B testing on our ads, we did all sort of remarketing on our ads, and nobody just bought anything. And the reason for that is because our cart system was down, because the test button in our WordPress site was on all the time. Yeah, so the whole cart system was on test mode and nobody could make payment. So I found this out after we have sold this workshop, unfortunately. And when I come back to Alex, my colleague, I'm not blaming that it's him, yeah. I'm just saying that this is something that happened to us as well. He said, oh no, this might be possible, right? I may have tested and I'm not untick it later, but it's the middle of the campaign or the ad campaign, and we remember doing it for a test upsell, right? So this little mistake, not to blame anybody, cost us a lot in terms of running ads blindly and nobody actually checking out on our cart itself. Now, this might happen to you, or this may already be happening to you. We don't know. And we do not know this until we use tools to tell us that, hey, something is wrong, right? So this is where the bug tracking feature comes inside within this tool itself. And I found this so interesting, and that's why I want to share this all of you today, right? Now, you can also see heat maps of everything in action, so you can find out where your customers are clicking, which button they are working or not. Are they reading your content from top to bottom? Can you optimize things differently on your site? And do they understand your site? You may put a button on the right-hand side corner, but if they don't notice it or something is broken, then it doesn't really work, right? And your conversion will tank. So yeah, that's a video as well. I'm not going to go through that one. There you go. You can see every single thing. So the blue marks here are basically where people clicked on, right? You can see as they go down lower, people start to actually lose interest, right? In the menu, we can also see which menu that they clicked on and more. You can also see this on the desktop view. So you can see your customers' behavior on a desktop, on a tablet, on the phone as well. So that's really interesting. Yeah? So the color is basically the heat maps, right? The red color means they visited that. And then it scrolls down to the bottom. We have less than 10% people going down there. All right, so I'm going to move past this one. This is basically the heat maps. Moving on. So the price of React Flow, right, is at around $20 per month. So $20 per month gives you 5K daily page views. That means you have a limit of 5,000 per day page views. So in a month, that's quite a lot. 30 times 5 is how much? Anybody knows how to do math here? 30 days times 5K views. How many is that? Are you still around? Are everybody still okay? That's 150K, by the way. All right, so in 1 month, you get 150K views. So if your site is in that size where you only have 150K views, then this plan will actually suit you enough, right? So it's setting around, if we convert this to Malaysian ringgit, right, it's 86 ringgit 55 cents approximately for 1 month to use this software for your website itself, right? And this software works on Shopify, it works on WooCommerce, it works on normal sites with a plugin or just by adding a small code down there, all right? And in the Pro version, you get the bug tracking, which I showed you earlier, that informs you when something happens in a site. You also have the visitor analytics, which is the video recording and also the heat maps. And each recording will be recorded as a recording. So the thing about this software like this, right, is the cost of this softwares normally comes in the video recordings, because videos are very heavy and large. So when they store these videos in the server somewhere, they would charge you the cost of handling this server, of hosting your videos. So in the free plan, you have very limited video recordings, but in the pro plan, we negotiated with Reactflow, and instead of 86 ringgit per month, we have negotiated a deal for all of you today to get it at 150 for 3 months validity. All right. So this is a deal we have actually negotiated for you. It's not our software, but it's something that you can actually use on for your site to improve your conversions. And I hope that this 150 here for 3 months will give you enough data, right, to increase your conversions today. All right. So with this negotiation you have done, Reactflow Pro, we're going to give you 5K daily page view processing, okay, unlimited reports, unlimited widgets, unlimited bug tracking, and on top of that, we have negotiated something extra for you, which is 300 video recording size. That means you can store up to 300 video recordings within your account itself and watch all 300 video recordings anytime you like. All right. Now we have put this up as a deal on our page itself, and if you like it, we can actually get it. Let me just get this link for you here. Okay. Oops. All right. So I've placed down a special link for you. What's the difference in the special link, right? The special link here would actually give you an access to a 1-hour online closed workshop by Ruben, right, to teach you how to use Reactflow, how to set it up on your site itself. And then I'll look at your site, give you some critique, and help you to strategize on your e-commerce site or normal site, right? And give you some extra tips to convert leads and also sales. Just something extra on top of the deal today. The price is the same today, tomorrow, or next week. Just I'm adding a added bonus for you today if you get it from the site here. So that's the deal itself. Again, Reactflow is not our software. It's basically a software we have negotiated with to bring discounted softwares to people in DigitalKit itself. All right? So I hope that helps. So what happens when you actually get the software, right? When you buy the software, you'll get a redemption code. With that redemption code, you just go to reactflow.com and basically redeem that pro account for 3 months itself. You won't find this deal anywhere except in digitalkit.org. All right? Okay, so thank you so much for this session, and thank you for staying until here right now. Again, this session will be recorded and be uploaded to digitalkit.org. Yeah, I'm going to stop here for Q&A and help you to answer any question that you may have at this point. Okay, if you want to look at the page itself, right? Let me just share my screen with you, yeah? We actually push up a page for this so you can actually take a look at it. How do I share my screen? Okay. So looking at the screen here, where's the page? Already, this is the page itself actually. So I've actually shown you earlier. So I'll share you this page as well so you can take a look at it. And yeah, let's get the software. We have negotiated for you. So go and get it. It's cheap. 150 bucks for 3 months of pro usage. Yeah, that's like a 43, up to nearly 50% discount from its normal price. And we just do this so we can get you more affordable softwares for your e-commerce business. All right. All right. So anyway, questions right now, I'll be here to answer before I go off at maybe 9:52, 9:55 maybe. Nishan, thanks for being here. I appreciate your time and attention as well. Thanks, Ruby. Thanks, Joseph. Okay, so I think I missed out this earlier, right? So I'm off to cut down our checkout page. Okay, cool. Cut down your checkout page, make it work for you. And if you see results, yeah, if you see results, please let me know because it's going to make my day much, much, much better. All right. If you see results, let me know and say, hey, Ruben, thanks for helping me out. I've increased my conversions or something, and it will make my day. Okay, so can this be applied on no commerce? I do not know. But one thing you should know is this, yeah. So it works with your platforms like WordPress, Wix, Shopify, and Squarespace and more by using a plugin. Now, for other e-commerce sites like Commerce, I'm not sure what is that also. You basically use this thing called a script, a JavaScript code like this. So if Commerce accepts a JavaScript code, then you can use it on your e-commerce site itself. All right. All you need is just put in this small code. The same thing as putting in Google Analytics. The same thing as putting in Facebook pixels and more. Just put in this JavaScript code. It should work. Yeah. So yeah. So this is the deal. Yeah. This is the deal. You won't find this on React Flow. So if you go to React Flow, I'm going to show you React Flow as well. And the reason we got this for you is because we love you. So React Flow, if you look at the price itself, the price, you'll be getting this pro account, all right? This $20 per month account, which is around 83 ringgit per month, right? But this one has a limit on the video recordings. So we negotiated for this deal, and then on top of that, got you extra video recordings as well. Okay, so when you buy into this React Flow deal here, you're getting a 3 months usage account on the pro basis, okay? And on top of that, you'll be getting 300 video recordings on top of this account here, all right? Which is actually more than what you're paying for this one here lah. So we hope this helps small businesses do better, right? Do better and also get more without spending too much on softwares, all right? Thanks again, Giselle. Yeah, I hope you found some value from this webinar again. Free and open source e-commerce platform. I'm not using this before, to be honest. But if you can put in a JavaScript inside your site, yeah, it should work. Yeah. So how does JavaScript works, right? So let me just log into my account and show you very quickly how you get this set up. So for example, I'm gonna log in my account. Okay, log in. I've not set it up on my account. So within your account itself, you want to go into settings, right? And you're going to get this thing called the tracking code. Okay, tracking code. And then within tracking code itself, you have this JavaScript. And JavaScript, basically, you put inside your website itself. So very small. And one thing about React Flow is it runs from a CDN. That means it will load fast on your site without slowing down your site. Very important thing, because some software makers, right, they do not optimize their software enough. And what happens is it slows down your site. So it's counterintuitive. So all you do is just check this, copy this code here. And let's say I want to install it within digitalkit.org. Now, digitalkit.org is built on a WordPress website. So I'm going to log into my digitalkit.org website, right? Again, this WordPress, very simple stuff. And within WordPress, the way I would do it, right, is to go into, it's built on Divi as well, a website builder, Divi. Let's say theme options. And go down to integrations. And within here, I'm just going to paste down the script into my header of the blog itself. So once it's done, click on Save Changes, and that's it. You're set up already. So when you go back to React Flow, I'm going to click on I've installed the code. You'll see that we should verify, and basically it's done. Okay? Oh, okay, I set up the wrong site because when I set up this account, I selected the lib.io, not digitalkit.org. Right? So you won't see working here. So I would have to set it up for digitalkit.org. So one thing I may have missed earlier on, I apologize for that, is when you buy into this pro plan, you can only use it on one site, yeah? Only one site. Yeah, activate only on one site itself. The reason for that again is because what costs the software makers money is storing the video recordings. And therefore, if you use it on so many sites, it will cost them so much that they cannot actually profit from your small deal here again. So this is the criteria that he has given me. So you can activate it on one site. Now, if you buy two, you can activate it on two sites, right? Buy three sites, buy four sites. But basically, it's a deal that I don't think you should miss. So check it out. React Flow is here. Let me just paste it to you. If you want it, get a deal. The deal will be up for 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks, we'll just close off this deal. Yeah. Now, in the future, in digitalkit.org, we'll be coming out with more and more software deals like this one here. So this is one of them. More and more will come. So we're going to have like email deals, email marketing software deals, and more that would help your business go further. All right. All right, so I'm going to take one more question before I go off. Thank you again for being here. And go enjoy my Friday evening, right? Whatever is left of it. Thanks, Janet, for being here. Thanks for the compliments. Appreciate that. Thanks, Terry. I'm flattered for your comment. Thank you. All right, any more questions before I go off? I'll just take one more maybe. All right, so join the Telegram group. If you have questions, ask me in there and I'll see all of you again. All right, stay safe, stay home, and till next time, goodbye and good night. Bye-bye.